Hi, welcome back. I can't really believe it that you made it to section 4. Wow, nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going, all right? So, in this section here, we're going to be practicing functions, all right? So, make sure that you are inside your practical app folder and 4.php, all right? All right, perfect. So, this one's just asking us to define a function and make it return a calculation of two numbers. All right, cool. And then we can just echo that, right? And then make a function that passes parameters and call it using parameters. All right, we did this in the lectures. Let's go ahead and do it now. So pause the video, do it yourself, try as much as you can, go back to the video if you don't understand it, and then come back here. All right? So I'll wait for you. Just pause the video right now. Don't cheat, okay? Perfect. Hopefully you were able to do it, and I think you did it because I think I'm a good teacher, right? I think I'm showing you something here valuable, and I think you're learning it, right? So I know that you did it, but if you did it, you can just wait a little bit and let me see if our code matches. All right. So first thing is asking us to define a function, and we can just define a function here and name it whatever we want. Let's just name it numbers. What? How about that? Or maybe calculation, right? Just to be calculation right there. Calculation. All right. And all right, let's bring it down, and then it's gonna return a calculation of two numbers. All right, so perfect. So how do we make it return a calculation of two numbers? Well, first we need to make the two numbers, number 1, 20, number 2. And the reason why I wasn't so descriptive is because you should be able to get the idea of what I'm saying here since you watched the lecture, right? Right? All right. Hopefully you did watch the lecture and you didn't skip it. All right. And then here I'm just going to say sum because we need a variable to hold this sum right here, right? We're going to make a sum of two numbers, sum 1 plus sum 2. Oh, plus number 2, right? And then we are going to return this. Return sum. All right? And that's it. That's it for this. But now how do we use it? I wasn't very descriptive here for a reason because we did this in the lecture, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and use this function however we want now. We can call this function right here by just saying calculation. Actually, let's just copy and paste it. Let's do that. Paste it right there. And right now, we're not going to see much here, right? Because undefined constant number 1, well, we have a problem here because we're missing this right here. Refresh, and we're not going to see anything because this function here, we could do whatever we want with it now. All right. What I want to do is assign it a variable. I'm going to say the sum. I'm going to call this the sum. I don't want capital there. I don't. Why does my hand want to do capital? I don't understand it. And I just want to echo it then after. Let's do some echoing. And I'm just going to just paste this here. Perfect. All right. And let's refresh it. And now we are echoing the sum. All right. So the reason, and please understand that I'm going fast because we have to do a couple things here. I don't want to take 20 minutes to go over that something that we already did. You should know this. And if for some reason you have any problems, all you have to do is go back to the video and learn it. All right, just watch it, keep watching and watching and watching until you get it right. So I'm going fast here because you should know this. But if for some reason you don't, just rewind the same video that you're doing right now and that you're watching and just look at what I'm doing. All right, it's a matter of just pausing the video and rewinding it if I'm going too fast. This should be very easy for you by now, but if it's not, don't worry about it. You can just keep watching and watching until you get it right. Now make a function that passes parameter and call it using the parameters. All right, so let's make a function here called, I don't know, say hola. Since it's Spanish, by the way, hola, it means hello, for those of you that don't know. All right. Actually, my fact, I'm just gonna call it hola, so that way you can remember this. And when I say, hey, hola, how are you? You know, that's what that hola means. All right, so and it says you're gonna pass it a parameter there All right, so we're gonna call this in English. Look at that. A variable in English is gonna say hello. We're gonna echo hello. That's all we gotta do with this function, to be honest with you. And then we call the function here hola, and we pass it a parameter, and we say, hey, is that Spanish? Right? What's going on with this, right? All right, refresh. Hey, is that Spanish? Look at that. Make sure that you put something here so that way it goes to the next. We don't get stuck with that. Oops. Hey, actually we don't need a break tag here. We need it up here. This echo right here. There we go. Hey, is that Spanish? Yes, it is. All right, so I think we're good here. That's all we needed to do here. So we have a function here returning the sum, and then we're using the sum however we want. Once we call the function, we can just assign it a variable, and then we can just echo this variable, do whatever we want. We can use this variable to add it to some other variable like we did in the lecture. And now here we made a function called hola, which means hello in Spanish, right? And we just gave it a variable here so that way we can have a value here to use to do different things with it. In this case, we're just gonna echo it. All right. So anyway, hopefully this lecture helped you out, and I'm going to see you in the next section. Take care.